Now let's get it started. Let's get it started.
Play ball!
Chelsea crashed out from the FA Cup. They lost that game 2-1. An own goal from Brighton goalkeeper gave Chelsea a 1-0 lead. But Brighton scored 2 to win that game. 2-1. Mitoma scoring the last goal in the second half to give them scoring the second goal to win that game for them. Okay, if you look at that game, Chelsea Maresca has been cooking. He started this season after losing against Liverpool and Manchester City in the beginning of the first 2 games of the season. He started cooking, and everybody was thinking that the food was going to be sweet. Then at some point he made that statement that they are not ready this season. Once he started made that statement to the press, Chelsea started going down. Now they have crashed out from the FA Cup, even though that game was 50-50, even though Chelsea created more chances, but then crashing out. I went on social media yesterday. Part of things that was trending on Twitter or X is that they want Maresca to go. So let's get your comments on the comment section if you think that Maresca is still the right person to take Chelsea forward. So let me get your comments. Remember guys to like, share and comment on this video. Okay, Nonso, what's happening to Chelsea?
I said it before, you know, they were riding on the horse of Pochettino. If Pochettino has, you know, when I say it, John is not here right now, but when I say it, it's like, I don't know what I'm saying. But you look at the long run, you look at the long run, you look at the bigger picture. It's not just what is happening now, it's what's going to happen in the next couple of years. It's what's going to happen at the end of the season. Maresca came in, a team that has been built under Pochettino, did well towards the end of the season. You came in and you say you don't want these players. And remind you, this guy just left, Thiago Silva. So it's like your key defender is leaving. You need everybody to come in good for you. Every player on the 70, people call them 70 players or 45 players. I call them 70 players. You know, when people say 45 players, I say 70 team. So your 70 players should come good for you during preseason. Test everybody everywhere. You get, look at what Amorim is in Man United. It's not comparison. Amorim is failing. We know he's failing, but every player gets the opportunity to prove that he wants to play for the side. You get, and that was something Maresca did not do. He came in, he said, these are the players I want, the rest of them can go.
Maybe it's the board that told him
those same board that brought back Chalobah. Now, those same board went in when he was looking for a top striker to get Joao Felix. Now, that same board has sent Joao Felix out on loan. So you tell me, everybody can keep feeling.
Basically, it's not
Maresca's fault and it's not the board's fault. So everybody can keep telling me it's the board. Because at this point, you're saying that Maresca, okay, the board brought him in, the coach didn't use him. It's the board has brought the player in. At least give him a chance. You get, you don't like the player. We know Pep Guardiola at some point did not like Toure for any reason, but he gave him the chance until he knows that, okay, fine, I've had it up to here with this guy. He can leave now. You get, you know, you don't like the player, but when you come into a club newly to make a statement, there are some players you put on the bench, like what's called Maguire. They took off his captain band. There are some players to make that statement. You take off some captain band. You take some players to the bench. You change some things in the starting line, but you give everybody a chance to prove that they belong to the club. Okay, and for me, I think Maresca didn't do that, and he rode on the confidence of, we did well last season, towards the end of last season, let's continue from there. And now he's beginning to come back to bite him.
Okay, Maresca, they are out of the FA Cup, but let's talk about this game in particular. Palmer really played well in the first half. He had a couple of shots that the goalkeeper saved, but a big error from the Brighton goalkeeper. Just a normal cross, he wanted to catch it and he just entered his own net.
You know, one thing with crosses is it can get tricky. You get the coily balls, everything. It's like you don't catch one hand. That's why most goalkeepers, when they go for most offensive goalkeepers, when they go for the aerial duels, they don't want to catch, they want to punch it out. And you punching it out, you look at where you're punching the ball to. If there's an opposition player there, he's scoring the goals. But for me, I just felt like it was an error for him to try and catch instead of punch.
Well, the ball bounced in front of him, so it's not really the fault.
Definitely, you punch that kind of ball. Now you punch it. You don't plan to catch it at all.
I think he wasn't expecting the ball to come to him. He was thinking that it was a cross. But if you look at the angle that Palmer,
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Was actually tight.
No matter the angle it is, players are crowding you. You can spill when you catch. You can spill, and somebody else can pounce on it. So you're trying to catch, and it slips off your hand. So the best option is to punch it. But I feel like it's mistakes everybody makes. Courtois made the same mistakes when he was trying to learn. One of the greatest goalkeeper currently, Emmanuel Noura, make the same mistake at Bayern Munich. So it's a mistake every goalkeeper makes, every offensive goalkeeper.
Then the equaliser came to Brighton, a lovely cross and a lovely header. Lovely goal from Brighton.
You don't need to say it. If you see the build up to that goal,
the guy's name Georginho
Ruta, but you know, because the Georginho side is like, Georginho is supposed to start with a J, but why is this guy is only George? G, but it's a G, so it's like a G-E-O George, and I'm like, okay, George in O at the end. It's supposed to just is George.
Good goal from him.
But good goal for him. The build up to that goal was just perfect. I feel like this Brighton side tends to surprise me. There are a couple of Chelsea players on the side. Lampard was not given the opportunity as Chelsea at all, and this is like his fourth or fifth season, or third or fourth season at Brighton, and he's been doing well. Whenever he plays in that fullback position, he's just doing well. And I just feel like this game just needed that kind of Chelsea needed that kind of mentality in defense. Someone who could die on the pitch for them. They don't have that. They just have the slicky defenders who could make soft tackles and get the ball back, who has long legs.
Chalobah is actually a rough tackler.
Chalobah has just long legs. He can't die on the ball. The advantage of Chalobah is just his long legs. Whenever he stretches his leg, he gets the ball. But he doesn't get that. He doesn't get that dirty with Chalobah.
Okay, good header from Georginho. His name is Georginho. Good header, lovely cross and good header he placed it very well, and they scored that game. It was 1-1 in the first and then in the second half. Chelsea missed a couple of chances in this game too. We're going to talk about that. Nkunku missed a particular chance that I'm going to talk about. But Mitoma scoring that winning goal, it was a little bit of controversy, a bit of play that it was like a little bit of handball, but it was continue. They continue playing and they scored that goal. That's a good goal from
now.
Look at the ball over the goalkeeper.
Before we talk about it, let's talk about it. Before we talk about it, go on to talk about the Chelsea misses. This guy is not available, Nicholas Jackson. Now Gui could have started.
Nkunku started.
No, Gui could have started. These are the games you start them. At least you test them young.
Nkunku is more of a senior player. I cannot test Gui when Nkunku is still.
And how many chances did he perform? How many chances did he miss?
Well,
Chelsea had about 20 shots.
If you have a coach, you are going to choose between Nkunku and Gui. You're always going to choose Nkunku first because Nkunku is more of a senior player.
Now he plays in the Europa League. He can continue to play there. In the FA Cup, this person
Europa
starts.
League, Conference League.
Europa Conference League, this person starts. FA Cup, Carabao Cup, this person starts. The Premier League, Jackson has it. You split in between the three. And I think that's one thing Maresca has not done pretty well this season. He just has the Europa League team and the Premier League team. The FA Cups and the Carabao Cup, what happens? Now they're out of the Carabao Cup, which means some of those players that have been playing the Europa League can play, and some of the players that have been on the bench that have been frozen out can play in this game. And I just feel like Maresca didn't get that message because
truthfully, you don't really play your reserve in your FA Cup.
Oh,
you play your first team in your FA Cup because they consider FA Cup as one of the big trophies. You can play it in the Carabao Cup, but in the big clubs.
Thanks to Mourinho, because at some point before you will not see an Arsene Wenger play the first team in the FA Cup or the Carabao Cup. We know that for a fact. What's it called? Ferguson and other top match, even Roy Hodgson. Big Sam Allardyce would not play the first team in their FA Cup. They played his reserves. But now Mourinho has come. Everybody wants to win a trophy, at least a silverware. And both teams started their full team. So I just feel like starting Jackson up front, you would definitely miss chances. But he just like, they created enough chances, but nobody was burying, because even the fullbacks, the wingers didn't bury their chances. The Pedro Netos and the rest of them didn't bury their chances. Kopama didn't have a chance. They even scored the goals because the defenders were on them throughout the game. So for them, I just feel like it was enough because the defenders had their jobs.
Mitoma scoring that second goal.
And Mitoma scoring that second goal
to win that game.
Build-up play. Lampard had an handball.
I don't know why they didn't call it. But there's no VAR in it, so if there's a VAR,
this is where the banter comes in. If you were in the viewing centers last night, you see where the banter came in. Man United scored off an offside the previous night. Now this night, Chelsea is trying to get a goal, and there's no goal coming forth. And Brighton got their goal off the handball in the build-up play, because Lampard took the shot, the ball bounced back and bounced on his hand.
Yes, I saw
it. Before they made the pass to Mitoma. Now, people presume that Mitoma used his hand to control.
No, he didn't actually.
But it was his head. Now, he controlled it with his head, but people thought it was his hand because he stretched it out. So now people were actually looking at the Mitoma incident as the handball. That wasn't where the handball was. The handball was with Lampard. And you get, with that handball, we felt like, okay, fine, referee could have seen it. But it was a bounce on me, bounce on you kind of thing. See,
that's why VAR is important. We keep talking about that. VAR takes away the fun of the game and all that. Yes, but now you see, 2 games in a row, Maguire is scoring with an offside goal. Now there's a handball in the build-up play to this Chelsea.
And there's a foul in the other game again. I think Newcastle game. There was a foul, a very tough foul in the build-up play to the goal, one of the goals they scored there. So I'm like, controversies here and there. We keep asking ourselves the questions: are the linesmen not doing their jobs?
No, linesman can't see that handball, but the referee should have seen it
because he was standing right beside him.
Because he was behind them, so he could not have. That's why VAR is important. But Mitoma scored that goal.
Beautiful goal, man.
Beautiful goal. They chipped that ball above Sanchez, and that game ended 2-1. Now to Maresca, what do you think Maresca should be doing? He's out of the Carabao Cup. out of the
FA
Cup. They are not going to win the league. They have only the Conference League. So if he loses the Conference League, that means they will kill him. But everybody's hoping that Chelsea is going to win the Conference League. But he said in his press conference that they are still building. They cannot compare them to Manchester City, Arsenal, Liverpool.
No, nobody's comparing them to Manchester City and
But do you
Arsenal.
think that he is still the right man to take Chelsea forward? Because everybody on social media,
we're not
change him.
we're not comparing them to Arsenal and Man City. Their coaches have been there for 5 years. Pep Guardiola 8 years.
You see, this is the right man to take Chelsea forward. That's the thing.
Now, the man that took over Liverpool, it's still his first season and he's doing great. He built on the excellence of the previous manager. And he also likes to give credit to Klopp, because whenever he talks, you see him give credit to Klopp. And Pochettino, Maresca is not doing the same. Give credit to the person that left the job before you. No matter what happens, you give him credit. You know the players, because these are the same players he brought in. Just that they didn't give him time, and we said it before, 9 weeks, but to get balance in the Premier League. And these players spent almost 6 months to get balance in the Premier League. Now the rest of the 4 months, because it's 10 months, rest of the 4 months, what happened? They were beginning to win games. You get. Now for Maresca, he came in, from that win, he transited into the Premier League, and everybody felt like he was cooking. And I said it from the beginning of the season, this food no go sweet, because we know where this food is going to. We know where this thing is having to. So I'm just feeling like Maresca, if he wants to win something this year,
it's just the Conference League.
He's added 2 or 3 players to the Conference League. I think Kopama and one other player to the Conference League list, and he's taken out Lavia. Now that's where I have a problem. Lavia has been coming good in defensive midfield and in full-back position. Why not he continue there?
I think it's because of his injury problems. He doesn't want him to play too many games.
He's only playing.
If he's available, let him play in the Premier League only.
Lavia is only playing the Conference League.
He plays in the Premier League sometimes.
That's when Maresca, that's when Caicedo, or perhaps this guy is not available.
I think that one is different because he's always injured.
Let him play only the Conference League, where they play only once in 2 weeks. It would have made enough sense that he plays only the Conference League. Now adding Caicedo to the Caicedo and Palmer adds a whole lot of games to Palmer, because if Palmer picks up an injury anytime soon, there's no creative force in that side. You get. So I just feel like for me, he should have left Palmer to play the Premier League games, while Lavia and
they need to win something, so Palmer needs to be involved in that. But I don't know if Maresca is still the right man to take the job. But
he's just the right man to.
Chelsea fans are, most times they are spoiled. They are always looking for trophies every year. So because Chelsea has a history of sacking coaches when they don't win anything. But I feel that Chelsea board is going to give Maresca at least 1 more season to try it, because they agreed. According to him, the board have agreed that this year is a building year. So after this season, next season, they are expecting him to start winning something. So I think he's going to stay next season. But Chelsea, most of the Chelsea fans want him gone, but I don't think he's going to go. But let's see if he's going to stay or sack, because that's basically what they told Pochettino, and he was sacked. But let's see if they will give Maresca time to build. So do you think that Maresca is still the right person to take Chelsea forward? Drop your comment in the comment section. Tell us if you think that Maresca is still the right person to take Chelsea forward. But in this particular game, they lost against Brighton and they are out of the FA Cup. They lost that game 2-1.